Hey, good morning. It's it's Friday, mid-March, 2021, and I got to the boat here last night. Late, drove in, and it's. I don't get out here very much. This is why you don't see very many videos from me. Unfortunately, I live 7.5 hours away from the boat, but it's Friday morning. I got 2 full days to work on the boat. I've got some breakfast here to start the day. I've already been up and had a shower and such. I don't know if you can hear it, but the wind outside is howling today. So there won't be any sailing for me. I won't be trying to leave the docks here today, but I do have a couple things going on. One, I'm going to change the sheets for the head sail. They're doubled up with 2 blocks up at the clew of the head sail, and I don't like that setup. There's some mechanical advantage there. I just don't think it's necessary, and I would prefer to have it just a single line, both port and starboard. The other thing is that I'm going to redo the main sheet, and as you recall from earlier videos, and I'll put a link up here, but the main sheet travels from the end of the boom, from the transom, and back up and down, but it travels along the boom up to the mast, down to the cabin top, and then back to the cockpit. And there's just too much friction involved with the routing of that sheet the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it. I've got a new, or new to me, block. Double block that I will try to install and set up today. I haven't really thought it out. That's my MO, but I don't think it should be a problem. First, I gotta go around and make sure all these Seacocks are actually working. So this is what I have for a replacement for the main sheet. It's seen better days, but it was pretty good quality to begin with. This is all aluminum right here, aluminum plates. The stainless is all looking pretty good. The aluminum has some tarnishing or whatnot, but I think that's I'm not terribly concerned about it, to tell you the truth. But it has the becket, which I need, and it has this this clip so I can stop the main sheet from going anywhere. It does use this shackle type, this releasing shackle type, which I'm not sure about, but it's not worn, and I think that'll be okay. If anything else, this is a good test to find out if I like it, if I like the sheet actually run and managed from the traveler area, and then run the line, and the line will just drop it right into the cockpit, which may not work, but we'll give it a try. didn't rat it right. try to block the wind here. Well, I see I have a problem because they have this is part of the preventer setup, and before the line used to come over the top of this the block here and go forward, and now I've got it coming right by here, so I'm gonna have to reroute this and probably put it up here, I suspect, which would work just as fine, just as well, but okay. Okay, back inside, and I freed up 4 blocks, which is not too bad. These are all decent Harkin blocks. So I'll just put those aside and see if anything comes up. And also, frankly, if these changes don't satisfy me, I'll just put them back. I don't have any problem with that. But I didn't like the way they were working, and we'll find out if my changes are any better. This is all open, by the way, because I still have a leak up top. You can see, oh boy, coming out of the deck fitting for the mast wiring. I'm investigating this leak, and I find that it's definitely coming from these wires in this gland here. So I've never been inside of one before, but took these threads, these bolts out here, and removed the screws that hold the bottom plate down to the deck. And I don't know if you can see that, but they all look pretty clean, except for this one. You'll see that that's got a good amount of corrosion there. I suspect that's the culprit. But I'm going to go ahead and try to bring this up a little bit to see if I can get closer to or gather some more information there. It's my philosophy with older boats to do no harm. And I really don't want to cause more trouble here, but I have to find out what's going on. So I don't believe the leak is coming from up top here. I think that's solid, and I could be wrong about that, but it looks pretty good. I think it's got to be here, and then underneath here. And so instead of trying to remove all of this stuff and redo it, I think what I'll do is I'll get some, I have some 4000, 3M 4000. I have some Seacocks, what have you, but I'll try to put it in here. The problem is that without removing everything, I won't have the ability to clean it up properly. This is an old tube of 4200, and I don't even know if I'm going to get anything out of it. This is the plug I just pulled out of it. Having it. It's still tacky at the very bottom there, so it's possible. I don't need much. Yeah, I think that's done. So let me go ahead and just reach in here. There we go. I just want to add some in here, if I can. If I could do this without making too much of a mess. Well, I'm hoping that the gasket beneath still is still okay. hoping that the gasket beneath here is still okay. I trust it is, but I don't really want all of this over the top here, because those other screw holes aren't they don't go through to the deck anyways, so, or through to the inside, the interior. So put this down. If I was doing this properly, I would be replacing the whole thing and rewiring and all the rest of it. And frankly, I don't want to do all that. It turned out to be a really nice day today. It's supposed to rain all day, but it didn't. But I didn't sleep very well last night. The wind was up quite a bit last night. 20 knots gusting 30. So I just didn't sleep very well. And so today I don't feel like going out. So it's just a little bit of a chore day. But okay, so hopefully that's all right. We'll find out, of course. At the very least, I hope it didn't make anything worse. I'm gonna leave this mess disconnected, this light out, until I find out whether or not it's still leaking. We'll see about that. Also, I've got the bulb out, and I'd like to find a replacement or a secondary. So I think this would be a good location for a red light. But anyways, it's got a dual bulb setup, so I'd like to have two if I can get them. I also have ideas of putting a couple of small solar panels up here. I think that if I can put, one on this side that's not too much longer than this, and then another one on that side, and somehow connect them to these, I think that'll be just fine. It wouldn't be much, maybe just 100 watts each, but that's certainly something. And then if there are separate charge controllers, then I should be able to get some sunlight regardless of well, not necessarily, but I'll have more opportunity to get sunlight on those. So maybe two up here, and I'm talking about rigid, not the, I don't have a lot of faith in the flexible solar panels. Put a couple rigid up here, one on the other side, so I'll measure for that, and then possibly one in the back here. The trouble with having one in the back, of course, is that we've got the swim ladder there, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that.